South Africa's newest magazine was introduced to the world with a song and dance. It was perhaps a fitting introduction for a magazine whose purpose is to celebrate the best of the country's public sector management. The magazine is set to change the face of government communications both internally and to the general public. The South African government hopes the magazine will go some way in eliminating negative perceptions about the public service.
This magazine ought to then project you as human beings who are there to service a nation, who are there to deliver services to the people. In the long run, you should be known better as Mr. and Miss Service Deliverer rather than Mr. and Miss Tenders.
One of the people behind the magazine is Vusi Mona. He is the magazine's head of editorial and production and believes the publication will have an appeal to Joe Public.
You know, government, by the nature of the work it does, affects Joe Public in the street. It affects all South Africans. And we think it is important for people who are outside government or outside the public sector to get to understand what it is that we are doing inside government. And this magazine will provide a window, as it were, for people who are not in government to see into what is happening in government. And we think it's going to add value, it's going to enhance people's understanding of policy, for example, because in the magazine we also discuss, debate policy issues.
The publication is the achievement of a group of people within the GCIS who have been inspired by the need to demystify the work of those in the corridors of power.
This magazine is a fulfillment of some of those statements by the President to make sure that people know also who the government is, and also as the government, we're reaching out to the people to say this is where we are, this is what we're doing, and all of this, so people can be clear that their tax money is being well spent. They know that we take care of their welfare and well-being. So indeed, this is us being very transparent as we always are.
Public sector managers are the high flyers in government at the coalface of service delivery. They are responsible for multi-billion rand budgets. The magazine will give the private sector a glimpse into what informs procurement decisions.
Firstly, this magazine is going to dispel the myth that government people are, these people that are lazy and not professional and all of this. You will see the profile of the people. They will see when they talk about their work. You will see the passion that they exude. It will change the mindset of people. It will change the paradigm of people, how they usually would be otherwise seeing government. So this magazine will hopefully challenge those stereotypes. And actually, most importantly, business people will begin to appreciate the value of interfacing with government, because the managers are talking about here, they command a magnificent procurement spend. So you would really have to be visionless not to see the opportunity of knowing who it is that is controlling 60 billion rand procurement spend of government.
We were interested to find out from the public service managers in attendance how the magazine would help them in their duties.
This magazine is a welcome development, I think, for me and many other people who are serving as managers in the public service, for a number of reasons. One of them is that you realize when you deal with a particular problem that you are not alone. There are people who have dealt with the same issue and you know how they have resolved that. So we're able to share information on innovation, problems that exist in the public service and how other people have tackled those things. But also the public service is too big and there are too many people who are serving there as managers. So if you have a platform like that, like this one, we are able to network, we are able to profile, and also it brings back respect, because one of the problems that public sector managers are grappling with is the issue of credibility and respect in the public out there.
The magazine will be judged on the relevance of its content. Public sector managers can look forward to a blend of relevant news and information that would directly appeal to them.
I think there's a very rich mix of content. There's one part of the magazine where we are and have to be policy intensive. We will talk about big issues that are relevant to or that confront the public service in one way or another. The political leadership throws new challenges at the public service every single day in order to ensure that we're effective in taking the country forward, delivering services to people and making the country attractive for tourism, trade and investment. So those challenges are coming at us all the time, and there's a part of the magazine where we unpack those issues, but also to inspire people to do better than they are at the moment. Then we feature personalities ranging from long-serving officials whose wisdom and insights and exposure over the years contain very valuable lessons for newcomers, new arrivals in the public service. Then we focus on new arrivals themselves to say, look who's on board. And there's a great many bright young things who are either joining government or returning to government from various sectors.
Together with the publication, the GCIS have also initiated interaction between political heads of department and public service management.
We also have Public Sector Manager Forum, which is an extension of the magazine brand, but most important, it's an extension of the model of two-way communications. The forum is based on magazine content, but allows us to bring into one room political principals or other senior officials we may have profiled, brings them together with real-life public sector managers for them to hear some more from that political principal, but also for them to make suggestions, to put challenging questions, to start debates, all in the interest of saying that the democracy we have in the broader society is also a democracy we are cultivating and we cherish inside the public service itself.
After all is said and done, it would be safe to say that South Africa looks forward to hearing more about those men and women in government who are consistently performing to deliver services to its people.